Today's practice is going to be focused. It's a different kind of practice. Today's session we are going to do something slightly different, which is in our meditation we will try and do some analytical meditation because we are going to work with thoughts, and we want to see what exactly is going on when we work with thoughts. Okay, we're going to bring this awareness and make it really, really, really refined. Okay, so we'll do the meditation and then we'll discuss and have a chat on your experience and what you thought and what you understood. We should get into it quickly, but I want to explain to you a few things before we get into it, which is, once I lead you into meditation and once you're relaxed, this will be more like questions from me. I will be putting in questions which I want you to be aware of. And the answers need to be intuitive and not from the head but from the body. So basically you are staying with your body. You are not moving into your head. For example, if I ask a question like, when did the thought arise? I don't want you to get into your head trying to figure out the time. That's not the intention. The intention is to stay in the body and have a sense of, did it arise some time back, a long time back, just now? So the idea is not for you to become specific. The idea is for you to stay embodied and go through this process. So I will lead you through several questions that will help you to create awareness of how thought is actually occurring and what is really going on. And then after we are done with our meditation, it should be about 25 minutes at the most, or maybe even less, I don't know. Then we will come out and then we will have a discussion on what really happened, what did you notice, and so on. So analytical meditation is used to actually put in effort and reasoning. So unlike other meditations where we just come back to the breath and keep the focus on the breath and our intention is awareness and focus only, in this case our intention is reasoning, but we don't want to get intellectual about it. It's reasoning from a very embodied place. It's not reasoning from the typical, mind space, because then it just becomes an intellectual exercise, and that's not what we want. That's why the regulation, that's why the meditation, before we get into that awareness. Hi Zarna, nice to see you. Okay, so are we ready to do this practice? And those of you who have just joined, are you regulated? Did you get some of the meditation at least, so that you are a little more settled, I hope? Okay, I can see only, I think, Anthony, I think is a new name. I don't know. Okay. So let's do this practice together. Are we ready? Yes? Okay. So just stretch again, just get ready to get into a little longer practice. It's important to hold the posture in this practice as well. Very important to see that the posture remains aligned. As I said, the head, neck, trunk remain aligned, and you remain very, very comfortable in your meditation posture, both relaxed as well as alert. Okay. Also, just see that the breathing, just maybe take a moment to breathe right. So the hands are on the diaphragm. You see, just underneath just at the lower ribs, where now the breath should help these to expand. So we are not breathing from here. It's not, this is not the breath we want to take, it's here. So it's a very slow, soundless, easy breath into the diaphragm. It's very subtle. I'm just making a little more exaggerated, like this should expand and contract, not so much, much more subtly, but yeah. So if you want, you can just put your hands on the diaphragm and see. Okay. Okay. That's a more helpful way to breathe. It really is a relaxing and settling way to breathe. So let's start our practice at the sound of the bell. Let's get into the posture. Again, stay aware and relax. Awareness of the inflow of the breath, moving, expanding the diaphragm. Noticing that movement on the side of the body, in the front of the body, as you breathe in. Making sure your legs are grounded. If you feel any tightness in the body, in the chest, in the belly, just gently keep a hand on that area so you feel settled. It's very important that your body feels settled before you get into the analytical meditation. Just aware of the breathing and relaxing. Face relaxed, shoulders relaxed, body relaxed. With every out breath, letting go. There are no jerks in the breathing. The breathing is soft, smooth, through the nose, very, very regular. Now, you stay focused on the breath. But if a thought arises, stay focused on the breath, keep your eyes closed, continue your meditation practice. Don't get out of it. Stay with the awareness of the breath. Don't leave it. And if a thought arises, just be aware that it has arisen. If no thought arises, just stay with the breath. But unlike usual, when a thought arises, we come back to the breath. In this case, go to the thought and know the thought. Know its content. What has come up? What is it saying? If nothing arises, stay with your breath. But if a thought arises, look at it. This time, give it your attention. Such and such a thought has arisen in my mind. Maybe a thought about the meditation has arisen. Maybe some other thought has arisen. Just notice what has arisen. When did this thought arise? Don't worry if nothing arises, just when it arises, let it come up. Something will be happening anyway. Just be aware of what's happening. When did this thought arise? Just very intuitively see when did it arise. Before you realize that a thought had arisen, were you already invested in the thought for some time? Were you already caught up in the thought for some time? Or did you notice exactly as it arose? Again, don't get into your head about it. Stay in your body. Just recognizing. Were you already in the story and you realize after some time you're in the story? Or as it came up, you realized it has come up. This thought has come up. How did your thought arise? Did your conscious mind create it? Did you decide that you will think about such and such an experience and then it came to your mind? Or did it happen spontaneously? Just answer these questions for yourself. Did you will it into existence? Did you decide that this thought must come into existence, or it just happened? It just happened on its own. If it was spontaneous, if it happened on its own, how did you experience it? As a sound, as an image, as a voice with words? In which way did you experience it? So the experience of the thought. How did it manifest to you? How did it come up to you? Take some time with this. How did the thought manifest? How are you experiencing it? There could be a thought about having no thought also. That's also a possibility. There could be a thought about the practice. That's also a possibility. Whatever has arisen, notice it. Did you want it to arise? Did you make it arise? Did it arise on its own? Stay with your eyes closed. Stay with your awareness of breath. Stay with your body aligned. Continue the practice. You're still meditating. You're very relaxed. There is no agitation in this contemplation. There's just awareness of what is happening. Just awareness. Okay. Now we will go a little deeper in our contemplation. Is this your thought? Did you create it? Is it yours? What is the intuitive experience? What does your intuition say? It's mine? It's not mine? Did I create it? What created this thought? Is whatever created this thought, is that faculty in your conscious control? Is it in your did you will it into existence, or did it happen? If it happened, what created it? Whatever created it, is that in your control, or is it out of your control? Again, just experience what happens in your awareness as you contemplate this. Is there any evidence that this thought is yours? That you should own it? It is a thought about you. Possibly it is a thought about yourself, but you did not consciously create it. So how different is it from another person's thoughts or words about you? in this moment, how different it is. If somebody else had a thought about you, you had a thought about you, how are these two different? Because neither of them have been consciously created by you or willed into existence by your conscious mind. Just stay with the awareness of breath, even if this is difficult. Just keep staying with the awareness of breath. Come back to this. The practice can be difficult. It's a subtle practice. You have to stay with something. It can be difficult, especially if you're new. How different is this thought from another person's thought? How does it feel to watch a thought of yours or a thought that you owned as yours? How does it feel to watch it as something that is actually coming up without your will and you have very little to do with its creation or what it says? Very little to do consciously with its creation or what it says. How does it feel to watch that? Watch it in the landscape of your mind, like watching a screen. You have so little to do with this creation. And here is that subtle space where you can make a decision. How much do you want to invest in this thought since you did not willingly create it? How much do you want to invest in something that has arisen without your conscious intention? How much ownership do you want of this thought? You decide. And do that, make that decision in a very relaxed way for this particular thought. But also this decision is about a lot of your thoughts. You're practicing it with one thought, but it's a practice for many thoughts. How much do I want to invest, consciously invest in a thought that I did not consciously create, that I did not consciously intend to have? How much do I want to invest is your window of opportunity. And is the only aspect that is in your conscious control. What I want to do with this that has arisen is in your conscious control. What has arisen is not yours. How does that feel? Staying with that, how does that feel? It could feel very overwhelming, it could feel unsettling, or it could feel deeply relieving. And it depends on where you are at this moment, what your practice has looked like over the last few months or years. It depends on a lot of things. But it's an interesting thing to see. Now taking a few deep breaths, get ready to come out of your practice, come out of your meditation. And you can open your eyes at the sound of the bell.